Humanity had always known the cost of loyalty. When the Valkyrie called for aid, we answered without hesitation. For over a century, they stood beside us, our closest allies in a galaxy ruled by the ancient and ruthless Zarkon dominion. The Valkyrie were peaceful, scholars and diplomats, never warriors. That was their only mistake. The offer came under the guise of peace. The Zarkon invited the Valkyrie to the negotiating table, promising security, stability and end to centuries of tension. We warned them. The Zarkon had never ruled by kindness, only by dominance. But the Valkyrie believed in diplomacy until the end. The trap was sprung the moment they arrived. Instead of a treaty, the Zarkon unleashed their full military might. Orbital bombardments turned entire cities to dust. Warships rained plasma fire on unarmed civilians. By the time humanity's fleet arrived, there was nothing left but silence and drifting wreckage. We searched for survivors. The ones we found told us everything. It wasn't war. It was extermination. The Galactic Council did nothing. They issued their weak condemnations, their hollow words of sorrow. No sanctions. No retaliation. The Zarkon had ruled for 50,000 years. No one had ever dared challenge them. But we weren't like the others. In the ruins of the last Valkyrie city, a dying elder grasped the hand of a human officer, his voice barely a whisper. Do what they fear you will do. We understood. Diplomacy had failed. Treaties meant nothing. The only language the Zarkon spoke was power. So we spoke back. Humanity declared total war. No negotiations. No peace. Only vengeance. For the first time in galactic history, an empire that had ruled unchallenged for millennia would learn what it meant to cross humanity. The declaration of war was met with laughter. The Zarkon saw humanity as a young, reckless species, one that had never faced a true galactic war. They had crushed countless civilizations before. They believed we would be no different. They were wrong. Every human colony, every industrial world, every hidden shipyard turned its full might toward one goal: the annihilation of the Zarkon dominion. Factories operated non-stop, producing warships, weapons, and combat AI faster than the enemy could comprehend. Our scientists dismantled captured Zarkon technology, improving it, adapting it, turning their own advancements against them. But our greatest weapon wasn't technology. It was adaptability. While the Zarkon relied on rigid battle doctrine honed over millennia, humanity thrived on chaos. Unpredictable tactics. Unconventional warfare. The first major strike shattered their fleets in hours. AI-driven cyber assaults crippled their supply lines. Entire shipyards went dark before their commanders even realized they were under attack. Prisoners were taken not for mercy, but for knowledge. Every captured admiral, every defeated strategist provided intelligence on the Empire's weaknesses. The more we learned, the faster they fell. The war escalated beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. The Zarkon no longer mocked us. They no longer saw us as upstarts. They saw us for what we were, the first true threat to their reign. For the first time in 50,000 years, the Dominion was losing. And we were just getting started. The Zarkon had never known fear. Their empire had stood for longer than humanity had existed. But now, entire sectors burned, their fleets shattered, their governors executed by their own terrified subordinates. The Dominion wasn't just losing territory, it was collapsing. Human fleets pushed deep into their core systems, bypassing traditional defenses with precision strikes and relentless assaults. AI-driven battle plans predicted their every move, turning once impenetrable strongholds into graves. The Zarkon, bound by outdated tactics, couldn't adapt. They expected wars of attrition, long sieges, slow advances. Humanity gave them none of it. Desperation set in. The Empire, once the symbol of absolute power, now faced rebellion across its territories. Species that had been subjugated for millennia rose up, emboldened by humanity's advance. Entire fleets defected, governors abandoned their posts, and Zarkon High Command was thrown into chaos. Their emperor, once a godlike figure, became a hunted man. The final stronghold, Xiphos 9, was meant to be their last stand. They believed it was impenetrable. Humanity breached it in a single day. The war ended with the capture of the Emperor himself. No last speech. No desperate attempt to bargain. He looked upon the human soldiers surrounding him and understood the truth. The Zarkon dominion was over. 50,000 years of rule, erased in a fraction of that time. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The war was over, but vengeance was not justice. The captured Zarkon leaders were placed on trial, their crimes laid bare before the galaxy. Worlds burned on their orders. Billions exterminated without mercy. They begged for negotiations, for deals, for mercy. They received none. Exile was their sentence. A barren, lifeless world with no resources, no technology, no future. For the first time in their history, they would be the powerless ones. The last transmission from their prison world carried only silence. But humanity did not claim the throne they had torn down. We did not replace one empire with another. Instead, we established the Galactic Accord, a council of free worlds, built not on dominance but on balance. For the first time, species ruled themselves, without fear of the Zarkon's shadow. The memory of the Valkyrie was honored, their lost civilization preserved in human archives, their last words etched into the foundation of the Accord. They would never be forgotten. Humanity had reshaped the galaxy, not as conquerors, but as a force that proved one truth: there would never be another Zarkon dominion. Because now, the galaxy knew when humanity gives its word, it keeps it. And when you betray humanity's allies, there is no place left in the universe to hide.